Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sober is Dope. And today I want to talk briefly about how to stop drinking alcohol. Now, this is an extensive subject, but I want to give you guys some insight because obviously I have experience in the field. I'm 8 years sober and I had a terrible alcohol addiction, and it took a lot to overcome it, ladies and gentlemen. So I really want to add some value here, give you guys some insight. So let's start out. The first way you could go about quitting alcohol, which is a substance use addiction, is by making a decision. It starts in the mind. You have to be willing to change. Okay. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking to the source. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out here that's going to try to talk about this that's not qualified to talk about this. You have to look for people who actually been there, who actually went through the whole process and found a high success rate. To date, I have no desire to drink. I have no urge to drink. And I literally could not, 8 years ago, I couldn't go one day without drinking. I couldn't go 1 hour, 1 second. I'm a clinical alcoholic and I'm allergic to alcohol, and I should have never drank. And it was one of the hardest things to do, but I did it by the grace of God. So I'm giving you guys a little quick blueprint. If you are struggling with addiction, or you're just tired of drinking, or maybe you're curious about what sobriety looks like, I want you to know you have to start. Even if you're not physically ready to stop, you have to start thinking about it. You have to have an idea that you want to stop. You have to think about how your life will look if you were in recovery. How would sobriety look on you? What would be, how would you feel? You have to start thinking about it. You have to entertain the idea first, right? And if you're asking the question, how do I stop drinking? Then most likely you're already thinking about it, which is a great thing. The next thing, I want you guys to say it. I want to stop drinking. I want to find my sobriety. And I really want you to think about how your life would be in recovery, and how would you benefit from it, not anyone else. The next thing is you have to do it for yourself. You can't do it for your family, for your loved one, for your kids, for anyone. You can't do it to impress someone or to edify someone. You have to have success. Now, you could be motivated by people that you love, and you could deep down want to make amends and show them that you really want to change, but it's not going to work if you truly don't want to change. So you have to be ready, and you have to do it for yourself. All right. So now that we got that out the way, I want to go to some of the techniques you could use to stop drinking. Right. And this is our segment. I'm answering the question, how do I stop drinking alcohol? The first thing is you go about it cold turkey. Now, this is my suggestions if you're going to go cold turkey. I would say you really have to be in a safe environment, somewhere where, you have someone with you, at least one person, just in case of an emergency, just in case of a blackout, or just in case you have a seizure. Because sometimes it's possible to have seizures when you're going through a detox that's not a medically assisted detox, because your body needs a lot of nutrients and vitamins and minerals. And sometimes medication is successfully detoxed depending on how hard you used to drink. Right? So if you're really a hardcore drinker, you might want to go to a detox or a medically assisted detox in order to start the process to get the alcohol out of your system. But if you don't feel like you want to do that yet, and you just want to try to go cold turkey, you need to have a lot of liquids. You need to be able to hydrate. You have to practice something that we call smart hydration. You have to have a lot of water, a lot of juices, a lot of things to replenish your electrolytes. Right, we lose a lot of B vitamins and potassium and magnesium when we drink alcohol, and zinc and stuff like that. So you want to be able to have a lot of fluids like Pedialyte, Gatorade, orange juice, a lot of water and stuff like that. So that's how you can do it. You can either go cold turkey, which is going to take you some time. I don't recommend cold turkey. In my opinion, I went cold turkey a few times and then I eventually relapsed. Okay. So how do you stop drinking? One, you have to make a decision. Two, you have to be willing to change and ready 3, you have to say it out loud. 4, you have to do it for yourself. And then you have to find which avenue of success you want to, which approach you want to take. Right. So if you could go cold turkey or you could go to a detox. So ladies and gentlemen, a detox is simple. You will look up locally places that successfully detox you. You could go to your local hospital and say, look, I'm an alcoholic, or maybe I've been drinking too much and I want to detox, right? They have detox clinics in alcohol, or they could recommend one for you. And that's just a 3 to 5 day process where you have a medically assisted detox or someone there that can help you. Now, detox is going to help you stop drinking. It's going to just do that. It's going to get the alcohol out your system long enough for you to start thinking rationally again, for you to start looking like yourself again and having a semblance of who you really are again. Sometimes when you're in addiction, we're all the way here, right? So when you want to sober up, you want to you're coming back down to earth. You're coming off of what they call the high. So a detox is really good. So if you go to a detox, it's 3 to 5 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after you leave detox, you're going to feel like a brand new person. This is a critical time. This is where you're going to feel really empowered. You're going to feel powerful. Oh, I got this. I feel good. I'm gun ho. It's called the honeymoon effect, right? After that the first or second, the third or fourth week, you're going to be riding this high of sobriety. You're going to feel really good. But this is what possibly could happen. They have something called post-acute withdrawals, right? And this is when you hit this wall. It's considered technically protracted withdrawal. It's a state of recovery where this is the state where your brain starts healing and you really start feeling the effects of the addiction. And this is where a lot of people relapse and a lot of people give up, because after the honeymoon effect, that initial 1 to 2 or 3 months, or that first initial 4 to 5 weeks, you feel great. But then you're going to get to a point where you don't feel that good. You're going to start feeling lethargic, a little tired, maybe depressed. You're going to be dealing with a lot of unprocessed emotions from the addiction. So this is the stage in a place where you really going to need some real professional help. That's why rehab is important. So what I did was I went to a medically assisted detox. Then I went to an outpatient rehab. So when things got tough, I had a counselor, I had a professional medical team, I had a doctor, and I had a psychiatrist, a therapist, and I took addiction. I was in groups every day, so I had community. I had other people that I could go to groups with, and I was able to talk, and I was able to do the work. I did this for a year. In addition to going to Alcoholic Anonymous, and in addition to taking urine tests every day, so the outpatient program would know that I actually was sober, right? Because so many people tell people, hey, I've been sober, I've been good, but they actually keep using in secrecy. You want to be held accountable. So being in a professional environment where you have somebody that can hold you accountable, and you have to take drug tests every day, a urine test, and then you have group, and then you have a doctor to make sure you have right medication and vitamins. This is how you stop drinking successfully. All right. So if you guys out there just had a bad night and you just want to stop drinking, yes, you could go cold turkey. Yes, you could have success there. I had success there for about a year, but then I eventually relapsed. So I would say if you really a hardcore drinker, and you know you might be an alcoholic, deep down you know you can't stop drinking. You wake up every day and you want a beer and you need that hard liquor. And if you don't have it, you don't feel right. Then you may want to look into getting a medically assisted detox, going to Alcoholic Anonymous. While you're doing that, try to go to an inpatient or outpatient rehabilitation. And then when you're done with that, for the next couple of years after that, still be part of a community, still go to AA, still find a group, listen to podcasts like mine, Sober is Dope. I started Sober is Dope because I wanted to help people in recovery and people who wanted to learn how to stop drinking, and also people who was early, who was looking for sobriety or had early sobriety. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my tips. If you want to stop drinking, first you have to make a decision. You have to think about it. You have to mean it. You have to say it. I want you to say the words. There's something about the thought mixed with the emotion plus the words that helps something come to life. This is like the law of attraction. It's kind of like pseudoscience, but it works. When you say to yourself, I want to stop drinking. I'm ready. I'm tired of this, right? You may not stop that day, but by saying it and feeling it and really thinking about your life in a positive way and thinking about recovery and sobriety in a positive way, it could really make the difference between you being successful in recovery or you not being successful in recovery. Last but not least, relapses happen. They're part of the process. So if you do relapse, my last tip is do not beat yourself up. The worst thing that we do when we relapse is we start to feel a lot of guilt and shame, and then we get embarrassed, and then we like to lie to people, and we don't necessarily want to face that torture of the fact that we just failed, and then we feel like a failure, but you're not a failure. Relapse is part of the process. I relapsed 2 or 3 times before I found permanent success, but I'm still doing the work every day. So after you stop drinking and after you leave rehab and after all of that's done, you're going to have years under your belt. Life is going to be improved. And yes, life in recovery is way better, and life in sobriety is way more fun. It's not boring. It's not corny. It's dope. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys, my life is extremely better, but you're going to have to do the work every day. And this is a lifetime thing. So I'm giving you the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm giving you the hardcore. Trust me, I've been through it. 8 years, successful. I spent the first year or two in rehab and doing the work, going to group, talking to psychiatrists, meditating, praying. I couldn't do it without God. So before you do anything, try to have a higher power. Don't worry about religion. Don't worry about dogma. I want you just to pray to your higher power. Think about what made you. Have compassion and have gratitude for yourself and your life, and connect that to a spiritual source. Having a spiritual base or some form of prayer or something could be the difference between you being successful and not being successful. Remember, we're not in this alone. Something greater than us made us, right? Tap back into that power. That could be the difference between you winning or losing. You listening to Sober is Dope? I'm Pop Buchanan. I'm 8 years sober, and I'm super excited to be here. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get all my videos. I'm going to try to really give you guys practical advice because I want you to win. I'm the real deal. I could confidently say that. The Sober is Dope podcast have over 200 episodes to help you guys. So I'm coming to you as an authority to try to really give you guys real information from the streets all the way up. All right. So I love you all. Stick with it. Don't give up on yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Bet on yourself. I love you, and I'll catch you on the other side. Thank you so much.